Kyle, it kind of seemed like one of those nights where I think I counted 17 ground balls. Not all of them hit that hard, but kind of funky stuff going on.
Yeah, it was a weird night tonight. I thought I might have gotten all those weird ones out of the way, but apparently we had another one in us. So, yeah, I mean, 8 singles. If I can keep the ball on the ground, I'm going to be pretty happy for the most part. And unfortunately, they had some that found holes. And, the one that I'd like to have back is the sac fly pitch. Had a guy 2 strikes and just left the slider up. But, for the most part, very rarely do you look back on a game where you give up 5 runs and you think, there's not much I could have done. But, that's what that team does over there. They put the ball in play. They put pressure on the defense. And on a night where they're finding holes, the night's probably going to end up like that. So just crazy where you give up 4 runs and 2 balls leave the infield in an inning. It's not going to happen very often.
It's a satisfaction for you that you got into the 6th and kept them within striking distance.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I've told you guys before, I look at 32 starts as my job is to keep the team in the game and give the team a chance to win. And, the offense made that possible tonight. They came back and did a great job, taking the lead late. But not only that, putting up 3 runs right away, and punching back each time. So, keeping the team in the game looks different every single time out there. And, tonight, giving up 5 runs ended up being all right. But, thanks to some great defense and the offense doing a great job. I know Gunnar, had that big swing in the 7th inning, but, man, his defense really probably kept me in that game for as long as I was. He made a couple great plays on balls that weren't even hit hard enough to get to him. And, and then Westberg made a couple really good plays up the middle. So, defense did a really good job on a lot of ground balls and a lot of action tonight.
With how often the offense is coming back in these games, so many comeback wins, is it almost kind of an expectation at this point that they're going to come back in these games?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that we know we're never out of a game. It's something I've learned, over this career. You give up 4 runs in the 2nd inning, and you still got to go out and hopefully get a few more innings and put up some zeros. And, when a team is this good and an offense is this good, we have a lot of faith that if not only the starter, but if the bullpen can put up some zeros and give the offense a little bit of breathing room and not feel like they're having pressure to score every inning, they feel like that they can come back. And, they've done it a lot this year with the most comeback wins, like you said. And it gives, I think, the team in general a lot of confidence knowing that you're never out of a game. If you only have a few comeback wins here and there, that's one thing. But to do it consistently, it's pretty impressive, especially with a young group like this.
How fun is it to be on a 7-game winning streak and playing this well this deep into the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's, we talked in New York, right? We were on the other side of this. And, not playing as good a baseball and, the last 7 games we've played as good as we have in a long time. And, but that's how baseball is, I told you guys nobody's immune to it. And, we finally got out of that streak and have been playing really good baseball, at the right time. I don't know if there's ever a wrong time or too good of a time to do this, but, I think I mentioned, this was the time that if we go on a streak, it can do a lot for the team confidence and put you in such a really good spot for the playoffs that it really becomes yours to lose. And I think that's what we're doing right now. We're playing really good baseball at the right time.
Kyle, you know a little something about pitching the tough lineups. Could you talk about your appreciation of what our lineup is like now? How we guys grind?
Yeah, it's a pretty gritty team. I feel like that's a word that's come up here the past few years on what a good team has to be, and gritty is what this team is. And I think between our offensive approach and the offensive hitting coaches and how they get these guys prepared, now that I've seen it on this side, this lineup is scary. And I know that, maybe there's not the 40 or 50 homer guy. There's not, one guy that might stand out, but there's 8 to 10 guys, and even the guys on the bench are always ready, and we got 13 hitters on this team that are going to go out and put a really good at bat together. And they know their strengths really well, they know what they do well, and they just have a really good attack plan against each pitcher. And yeah, I mean, I think this is the type of offense that you want to have to do that October run, because that you're not just going to go out there and very rarely are you going to give up ABs and put up goose eggs the whole game. So, it's a fun lineup to watch, and I can only imagine preparing for it, how that is.
You have to go up against him, but kind of an appreciation do you get for what arises?
Played with him in 2019, and for a rookie, and now you guys have seen it here the last couple of years, but for a rookie, sitting next to him on the bench is one of the only guys that I've seen so locked into a game that he could tell you when the pitch was just out of the pitcher's hand if it was a ball or strike. Just sitting next to him, legitimately verbally saying ball, strike, ball, and he was right every time. So I think this might have been my first time facing him, but man, just my one chance, not my one chance, but my second chance to get him out, and my one chance to strike him out, I just missed with that front hip sinker, and I think we both got a little kick out of it because I don't think he thought that's the pitch that was coming, and I just barely missed with it. But and then sure enough, I throw a cutter that I think is right on the corner, and he hits a line drive to the middle. So he's a really good hitter, and he's a guy that you really don't want to face in any situation except for maybe leading off the inning because my plan really was to try to not let him get 8 or 9 pitch at bats because he will, and make him put the ball in play and hope he hits it to somebody.
You're one of precious few guys on this roster with playoff experience. This team's been, you said it, grinding all these close games, all these come from behind games. A lot of games even in April, May that felt like playoffs. Can that steal a team for the postseason, even one that a lot of the individuals never been there before?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think I think these games are going to be really good for this team come October. We've had a couple times where the game has been, just emotionally up and down. And I've told a couple guys like, hey, this is what the playoffs is right here. You can't let one at bat affect the next. You can't let one inning affect the next because big swings are going to happen. And, you hope that your team is ready for another big swing when the time comes. So, I think these are the games that can prepare a team for that type of atmosphere and against another team that's going to be in the playoffs, hopefully, for them. So, I think it can do a lot for guys.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yep.